In that area, a pool full of essence formed again, and afterwards, a human fell into it. At that moment, Lekan's essence and a human's physical form merged. Veli had never been able to take a physical form like this before, and through this, he began to spread all his evil into the world. His magic spread across the earth, and as a result of this evil and magic, different creatures began to emerge on the planet, the very strange beings we see in the fruits of Atfalia. The person responsible for the creation of these creatures was, in fact, Lesan himself. Due to the intensity of the mushroom bomb explosion and the unusual creatures that emerged, humanity was nearly wiped out. But a group of humans sought to isolate themselves from this terrifying world and ensure their safety. They took refuge on an island in the middle of the ocean, where they established a new civilization. Entry to or escape from the island was strictly forbidden, and the island had guardians to enforce this rule. While humans on the island developed their civilization, things in the outside world gradually normalized. The lands of the world divided into different kingdoms: the Fire Kingdom, the Candy Kingdom, the Ice Kingdom, and other realms. This entire world and all these kingdoms together were known as the Realm. And as you know, our story takes place in this realm. On the island, each human had a different profession, much like in real life: doctors, soldiers, scientists, founders, and more. There was also a group called the Seekers, trained by Dr. Gross, whose mission was to catch anyone trying to escape or enter the island. The Seekers resembled the character Suzun from the cartoon, a structured female figure. Eventually, a character named Martin tried to escape the island. Because escaping was forbidden, the Seekers caught him just as he was about to flee. A minor conflict ensued, resulting in Martin breaking his legs, and he was taken to the hospital. There, he met Dr. Muniver, and they eventually fell in love and got married. They had a child who, as you might expect, was actually Phil. While Martin and Dr. Muniver lived happily in their home, a gang suddenly invaded. Martin was taken, and guards chased him. Somehow Martin and Phil managed to escape the boundaries of the island. Dr. Muniver then sent her best seeker, Suzun, to find them. Despite years of searching, Martin and Phil were not found. Meanwhile, a virus that harmed the creatures in the open world spread to the island, wiping out nearly 62% of the population. Dr. Muniver, the sole survivor, devised a plan. She uploaded her consciousness into multiple robots, hoping to save the island in this way. Back to Phil. He had escaped the island with his father, but due to his father's recklessness, Phil was separated. He was washed ashore by the waves and found two yellow dogs, Jack's parents, Margaret and Margaret. They raised Phil alongside their own children as siblings, which is how Jack and Phil became close friends. Now about Jack. Although we assumed he was Margaret's child, he wasn't. Jack was actually the child of Joshua and an alien. Joshua was bitten on the head by a strange blue creature during an investigation. The bite caused a swelling on his head, which eventually burst, and Jack emerged. So, Joshua was pregnant on his head, and this is how Jack came into the world. Next, Marceline and the Ice King. Vampire Queen Marceline lived a long life and was about 13 years old during the Mushroom War. She had seen the war firsthand. The Ice King, in his previous form, had been a human. The crown he wore protected him from the Mushroom War's devastation, allowing him to survive. Marceline and Simon developed a deep bond over time, and Simon's only connection to the world was through protecting Marceline. Later, Marceline's path crossed with Princess Bubblegum. They developed a relationship, but Bubblegum often caused tension due to her responsibilities as a princess. Eventually, they parted ways. Marceline and Jack later met. Jack was on an adventure, and upon returning, Marceline claimed ownership of a treehouse, forcing Jack and Finn out. Jack initially complied due to fear of vampires. Eventually, Jack resisted and fought Marceline, impressing her with his courage. They reconciled, returning to their home and forming a strong friendship. Marceline eventually grew tired of eternal life and sought a solution with Princess Bubblegum, losing her vampire traits and being able to walk in sunlight. However, she later fought the Vampire King again, was bitten, and regained her vampire powers. Marceline and the Ice King were arguably the main characters of the Adventure Time universe, even more central than Finn and Jake. Returning to Finn, he tried to reunite with his mother. However, the person he embraced was not his real mother, but a robot, one of the many copies of Dr. Mooniver's consciousness uploaded into machines. Recognizing this, Finn decided to return to the realm. I avoided detailing everything else to prevent repetition, but if you want a full, deeply detailed video covering every nuance, I can create one, which could be nearly half an hour long. If so, comment below. As always, if you want more videos in this series, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Future videos will be based on the engagement. That's all for now. See you in the next content.